Diaries. I know it has been a long time since I uploaded. I think it's been about 4 weeks now, and I do apologize. Coming back with another video and another topic for you guys. This one's going to be a juicy one. It's been highly requested that I do more videos in the relationship sector and friendship sector and stuff like that. So I thought, why not do a video on signs when to leave a relationship? And I think this one's going to be definitely a juicy one. I think it's going to have a lot of good tips in there. And if you have any more tips as well that you think you can add to the video, definitely leave it in the comment section below, because we're all about helping each other. We're all about, helping to build up one another. And yeah, let's get into this video. So just a little disclaimer, I am not in a relationship guru. I am not a professional speaking on any type of relationship. I can only go off of my own experience or my close people around me's experiences. Obviously, I'm not going to be disclosing names and stuff, but yeah, I'm only going off of like common denominators or what I've personally experienced. So please don't be too harsh on me in the comments if you do feel a type of way. Everyone is entitled to their opinions. I'm just expressing mine, and hopefully it can help someone out there. So I look down because I wrote my little notes in my little diary. So that's the first one I would say is if they don't have a relationship with God. I found that when someone doesn't have a relationship with God, we seem to clash heads a lot more often. I feel like the relationship is a lot more fiery, a lot more argumentative. I feel like someone that, genuinely has a connection with God, when it comes to like disagreements, arguments, or anything of the kind, they kind of naturally just redeem themselves. Or if they get to a place of anger, instead of turning to violence or turning to another form, they will turn to God instead. They'll ask God to keep them calm, or God will bless them with the wisdom of when to leave a situation alone, when to let it air out for a bit and then revisit it. I feel like all of the wisdom and all of the knowledge, it comes from God. So if someone doesn't have a relationship with God, then you can only imagine how toxic the relationship can become. And then you start to lead the relationship by your own understanding as opposed to God's understanding. And then it just kind of goes left from there. I would say that's definitely point number one. So my next point on when to leave a relationship would be when you have very strong spiritual instincts that you're meant to leave. I feel like God speaks to us in so many ways, especially if we're asking for direction, if we're asking for guidance, if we're unsure of something, He will always give you the answers. So if you're praying over that, like specifically in your relationship, and God is giving you clear instincts, giving you clear signs, maybe even spiritual dreams on the situation, please don't sleep on it, because God is talking to you. Like, God is definitely talking to you. And it's now down to you on whether you want to ignore what He's saying to you, or if you want to take it seriously and take the relevant steps that you need to take and get up out of there. Do you know what I mean? Because when we're not obedient and we don't have the obedience of God, things will just continuously get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse until it gets to a point where you have to leave. Like, He will put you in a situation where you forcefully have to leave, and it may not be the prettiest situation, but do you know what I mean? He gave you all of the instincts prior, gave you all of the spiritual dreams prior. He gave it, I don't know, maybe word of mouth, or maybe something you read, Bible, scripture, whatever, and you chose to ignore it. So the only other option after that is to forcefully remove you from that situation. So definitely trust your instincts, definitely trust your spiritual dreams, definitely trust the scriptures that you're reading, especially if you prayed over it prior. Trust in it, follow it, and take that step. Be obedient and walk with no fear, walk with no doubt, knowing that God is the one that's carrying you. So point number 3, I would say, when you're pouring 100% into someone and always just pouring your everything into that relationship, but on the opposite side, they're giving you like 0%. That is straight away like, you better get up out of there. Because if you're in the dating stage, or if you're in the boyfriend and girlfriend stage, and that is how it is right now, then when you get into that next stage, I feel like it's just going to be a bit of a situation. It's going to be a thing where they kind of expect that from you now. Like, they've become comfortable in you giving 100%, and you pouring 100% into the relationship, always doing the most. Like, they can make, actually, no, that's going to go to the next point if I say that. But, you know, if they do certain things and you just continuously pouring and pouring and pouring, it becomes an expectation. They become comfortable. I feel like you need to, I don't know if I'm merging points together, but you need to have self-worth. You need to know what your self-worth is before you even enter a relationship. That kind of links into my other video about tips before entering a relationship, so I'll leave that up there. But yeah, you should never, not that you should never be, you should always pour 100% into anything you do, because you have to always give your best in everything you do. But if the person is not reciprocating that energy and is giving you back 0%, then me personally, that's a sign where it's like, it's not worth it. You want someone that's gonna equally pour into you the same way you're pouring into them. Like, even in acts of like a disagreement, if you're a person where, you know, you really value the relationship enough to, you know, do the extra mile to make things right, it should also be the same vice versa. In terms of like birthdays and stuff like that, obviously everyone has a different love language and everyone's different in how they showcase their love. So maybe research someone's love language before you get into a relationship with them. But if you're in a relationship and you're a person that, you know, you're always showering them with love, you're always showing up, you know, for their success or their milestones, stuff like that. But then when it comes to you, it's like, oh, I'm too busy, or I can't make it, or I didn't have enough money, or whatever the situation is. To me personally, that's a sign to just up and leave, because there's someone out there that's going to be able to match your energy. No, you don't have to be the richest person on earth. No, you don't have to have all the time in the world. However, it's the effort that counts. If you're putting 100% effort into someone, then you deserve 100% effort out of that person in all aspects. So yeah, just to conclude point number 3, you should receive exactly what you're given into the relationship. So if you're pouring 100% into them, you should also be receiving 100% efforts back. I wouldn't say, because nothing's always 100%, but you get what I mean. You should feel like, you know, like even little things, like if you're ill and when that person's ill, you're 100% pouring into them. Like, you know, you're doing all the remedies, you know, you're making them feel loved and cozy and whatever. But then it's like when you're sick, they're nowhere to be found. Like little stuff like that. There's so many different elements of a relationship where that can come into play, but you will know in your own relationship how it is in terms of, you know, the energy, because you can also balance it in a way. So say, for example, I don't know, if it's like cooking, for example, say if you're cooking but then your partner cleans up the kitchen for you, that to me is 50-50. Like, that is like pouring into each other, but maybe in a different way. Do you get what I mean? So you have to evaluate your own relationship and see, in certain aspects, is it a thing that's 50-50, or is it you always 100% and opposite person 0? So point number 4 would be, if you express to your significant other the things that are troubling you, things that are hurting you, things that are upsetting you, and in the moment they listen to you, but then they keep repeating it over and over and over again, that to me is a clear sign that, yeah, it's not really the relationship for you. Someone that truly loves you, someone that truly values you, you shouldn't even have to repeat yourself more than twice. Like, it would be a thing where it's like, oh my gosh, like, I never wanted to hurt you, I never wanted to do that to you, I never wanted to make you feel that way, and it will never happen again, because that person genuinely loves and cares about your emotions, cares about how you're feeling, and it will never repeat again. Do you know what I mean? Or if it is a situation where it does repeat again, they will, how can I explain it? They would recognize the mistake and immediately correct it. So say, I don't know, what's a random example? Say if it's biting nails, so random. But say if you've expressed to your partner like you really don't, you can't stand it when they bite their nails, like it's just so annoying to you, and you know, you said it once, they sat there, listened, said, yeah, babe, like, I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna change it, cool. And then my point is, if they was to do it again now, but then in the moment they're like, oh my god, like, babe, no, I'm so sorry, like, it was just like, I need to get out of this habit type thing. It shows that they've recognized the thing that's upset you, and they're still willing to, like, I don't know how to explain it, like, they're making that effort to do better. But if it's a situation where, the same example of the nail biting, they do it again, but there's like no type of, what's that word, recognition, is it, that they're doing it, or whatever the word is, and they just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, and you have to keep coming to the same, babe, this is really annoying, babe, this is upsetting me, babe, da, 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 and it's repetitive and repetitive and repetitive and repetitive. That person clearly don't care. They don't care. Like, their nail biting is clearly more important than you. Do you know what I mean? So you have to really kind of just evaluate that part as well, and sit back and think, does this person really listen to me and cater to my emotions, or do they just not care at all? Because your emotions definitely matter. They definitely count. The same way that you care for another person and take into accountability their emotions, how they're feeling, you know, and every aspect of that relationship, is the same way you deserve it back. So that would be my point number 4 or 5. This one's funny. When they give you the ick. Now, there's so many different, like, there's so many different definitions, like, of the ick and stuff. But it's like, when, just, I don't know, like, every single thing that they do, it just makes you cringe, or it just makes you like, like just kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you should never be feeling like that over your significant other. If that's a repetitive feeling and it's a lot more consistent as the days go by, then it's a sign to you that maybe you don't really like that person for real, or not that you don't like them, but you've kind of grown out of that love, because I've heard that can also happen as well. Like, in the moment you can grow to love that person, it's all lovey-dovey, all la-di-da, but as the years go by and you start to notice their day-to-day habits, maybe, or their behavior, or how they speak, or I don't know, it could be anything. Like, if it's just giving you the ick and you're just like, like, this is not for me, then that's a sign that you need to get up out of there, because to force yourself in that situation is going to get worse over the years, and it's also not fair on the person, because if it is a situation and that person is actually really into you and really showing and expressing their love to you, and on the opposite side you're just feeling like, ew, like, like, it's not fair. Like, just you need to have, first of all, communication. You need to sit them down. Obviously it's going to be a very difficult conversation, but you need to sit them down and express how you're feeling, because it could be a thing where, you know, maybe that person could actually change whatever it is that's giving you the ick and become better. So always give a person an opportunity to change and become better, because with God, anybody can become or mold into the best version of themselves for you. But if that doesn't work, then I would definitely recommend just don't waste each other's time. Life is so short, and it's not worth sticking with someone for the sake of sticking with them. So yeah, that would be point number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I should have written numbers on this, because this is going to get so confusing. But let me do point number 6. So point number 6 is, this one's a funny one. Point number 6, this is going to get quite deep. This one could even reach the comment section. Is when your significant other gets you to remove all of your, okay, so in my perspective, it would be my male friends. But if you're a male, then it would be your female friends. But if, basically, long story short, if your significant other gets you to remove all of your opposite gender friends, but secretly is keeping theirs, then that's baby. That one there is a danger zone. that is called controlling. That is so many words above the sun. Obviously, I understand to an extent, when you get into a new relationship, your significant other may be uncomfortable with certain friendships that you may have going on with opposite gender, because they may see it as they're too friendly, or they're overly loving towards you, whatever the case may be. it's understandable to an extent. However, if the person is getting you to remove all of your friends, but on the down low is keeping all of their opposite gender friends, then to me that's a bit weird. Because why do you have such a problem with me having opposite gender friends, but then you can keep yours? To me, that's just weird. That's like a red flag. Like, no. It's either you both come to agreement where you can both have opposite gender friends and you're all one big happy family and one big friendship group and it works for you, or you're both on the same page of, yeah, I don't think it's good that we have opposite gender best friends or friends. Like, I think that's unhealthy, first of all, because it's literally human nature to have opposite gender friends. Like, that's mother nature. Anywho, if it's a thing where you agree where you don't have opposite gender best friends or whatever the situation is, then it needs to be the same on both sides. It needs to be very much equal. It's very controlling to make the woman get rid of all of her male friends, but then you're keeping your female friends on the down low. I think that's very much controlling. It has to be the same on both sides, or it's not at all a thing, or you both keep opposite sides best friends and do what you're doing. But yeah, I think that I just realized, because the title of my video is when to leave a relationship. I mean, that's not really a thing to leave a relationship, but I would say it's definitely a red flag that can lead to leaving the relationship, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think if you can prevent it from the get-go, then prevent it. If you know within yourself how your friendships are with the opposite gender, yeah, then you have to make that decision. I think if it's a thing where you really want to stick by those friends, then you need to be entering a relationship that accepts that behavior. Not behavior, that's such a bad word to use. Not behavior, but that accepts that. But if you're a person that you're willing to drop the friend for that relationship, then yeah, like, do you and see how it goes, and definitely let me know. But definitely let me know in the comments below everyone's opinions on that, because I'm a person that I can think outside the box, so I always can understand different perspectives. The only thing I don't understand is if a partner wants it to be one way for them, but then, I mean, yeah, so when the partner wants it to be one way for you, but then with them, they're allowed to do X, Y, Z. That's where it's a bit like, no, that's not okay. But if it's a thing where they've expressed to you how they're feeling, and it's the same both ways and on both sides of the table, then it's like, okay, like, you can come to an agreement and move forward with that. But yeah, I think that wouldn't be a sign to leave the relationship, but, well, I mean, kind of, yeah, because that's a bit controlling. Yeah, you can determine that one. And that one's a bit of a touchy subject, so I'll let you lot talk in the comments about that one. So next topic, what is wrong with me? Next point, I think this is point number 7 now. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So point number 7 is when the bad outweighs the good in your relationship. So you can even actually sit down and bullet point it, or you can even do like a little what do they used to call them, spider diagram, if you need to, if it helps. I think it does help because you're actually physically thinking about it and writing it down. But maybe do that exercise and actually just write down all of the good in your relationship, write down all of the bad in your relationship, and kind of like weigh out what's more. If there's a lot more good and positivity in your relationship, then I think it's a relationship that's worth keeping and worth fighting for. However, if you've done that process and there's like a whole list of bad stuff and there's only a little bit of good stuff, then that's your clear sign, babe. You need to leave that relationship, because it should either be 50-50 or the good should be a lot more than the bad, so that you're kind of, on the right wavelength. And I think even sit down and do it with your own partner. I think that's a healthy exercise to do, where you both kind of just sit down and you write out, your goods and your bads on each other, and then you come together, you even communicate on it, because again, communication gives each other the opportunity to change and become better. So always communicate first before making any drastic decisions. And yeah, if it gets to a point where you've had that communication and nothing is changing, then yeah, definitely I'd say then that's a sign to end the relationship. Because you want to be happy in a relationship. You want the good to always outweigh the bad. Obviously, yes, there's going to be bad times in your relationship, but if the good is like a strong package of good, it's going to outweigh the bad. And the bad's not even going to feel that bad because you're going to make up within 24 hours or whatever the situation is. So that would be my point number 7. So point number 8 is when your significant other is not willing to grow or change their negative habits. So every single human being on this earth has negative habits. There may be things that they need to work on. And when you get into a relationship, sometimes some of these things can negatively affect your relationship. So if your partner actually sits you down and is very vocal with you and says, do you know what, I really don't like, this element of you. Depends on what it is as well. Because if it's something that's generally you, like, I don't know, what could be an example that's generally you? Like you're goofy or you're a giggly person, no, then that's your character. If the person don't like that, they're not for you. But if it's a thing where...
What could be an example? What could be something that's not naturally your habit?
Like attitude or... I don't know, or cursing or stuff like that. So if your partner sat you down and explained to you, like, these things, like they know that it's not really you and they don't like it, and the person's just stuck in their ways, that they're not willing to change, like they're not willing to move past it in a positive way or anything like that, then to me that's a sign to leave a relationship, because everyone in a relationship should be willing to grow. They should be willing to put their hands up and say, do you know what, I was wrong for doing this and I'm going to be better, and actively make changes to become better. And yeah, I feel like if someone's not willing to change for the good and change to make the relationship more positive and make themselves more positive person and grow, then you're going to be stuck in the same place for 5+ years to come, because they're actively not showing you that they're going to change, that they're willing to change, that they want to change. And it's just going to be a massive battle. It's really going to be a massive battle for you. And the question you need to ask yourself is, are you ready for that battle? Are you ready to go on that draining battle that may not actually have an ending? Because the only ending is when that person is willing to change, is willing to do better, is willing to break whatever the bad habit is. Do you know what I mean? So that would be my point number 8. I think this is another iffy one, but point number 9 would be when the person doesn't have any goals or visions for themselves and for their life. Now, the reason why I say that this could be a deal breaker and when to leave a relationship is because in a situation where you're entering a relationship, or you're entering or in a relationship, bear with, and you have oh my god, what's happening? Okay, you're entering or you're in a relationship and you have goals for yourself, you have visions for yourself, you have plans, you're excited about them, you're working towards it, but then your significant other just doesn't have anything. He doesn't have anything he's working towards, he doesn't have any goals, doesn't have any plans, doesn't have a vision for his life. When you're reaching your success and when you reach your milestones in your life and you're glowing, naturally, whether you want to believe it or not, that is going to affect the person, and it's going to affect them in a negative way to the point where they will start bringing you down. Obviously, I don't want to speak on your life, but I'm just talking from, it happens in a lot of relationships where the person will naturally just bring you down. They won't really be happy for you. They won't really be that hype person that they should be. And it will start to have a wear on you. It'll start to naturally kind of like drag you down, because like you're trying to pick up this person and try and make them their best version of themselves, but they don't even know what their best version of themselves is. They don't even know what goals they have. They don't have a vision for their life. They don't have anything. So they're going to be watching you just elevate and grow. And then they're obviously going to be staying here because, they have nothing to work towards. And that is going to become a situation. Instead, you need to be in a relationship where you both have goals, you both have visions, you're both on the grind, you're both making active steps forward so that you can grow together, you can learn together, you can, you know, celebrate each other's success. And yeah, I just think that that's what everyone should be blessed with. But there's nothing wrong with a person that's just not there yet. Sometimes we're put in people's lives to actually help them on the outcome, or to bless them with a fresh mindset, a fresh vision, or to even give them the vision. Sometimes that can be a situation, but in terms of a long-term relationship, I think it can end up being very, very draining for you. So yeah, once again, that point is kind of like, it's a point where it's like, it's not the be all and end all to end the relationship. But I think over time, it's naturally going to just kind of drain you and drain the relationship, and it will end up coming to the point where you will have to leave the relationship. So I feel like in the very beginning stages, if you're noticing these things, maybe, you know, before like cutting it off so quickly, maybe have a sit down with them, maybe do like a little couples exercise where you create vision boards together and do like, you know, end of year goals. So like at the end of the year, sit down together, maybe have like a cute little, I'm not promoting alcohol, so maybe like a cute glass of water, like, I don't know, like a nice sparkling drink, non-alcoholic. And yeah, sit down and write your goals together, you know, write out what you want to become, what you want to achieve in the new year, like kind of put that thought process into them, maybe see how that goes. If it's a thing where they're just not interested at all, like there's just no interest, that they don't care, they don't want to do it, but you're very passionate on that, then yeah, I would say maybe leave that relationship, I'm not gonna lie. And that kind of goes into another point as well, actually, about similar, this is the iffy one, about like similar interests and stuff, because I feel like you can be in a healthy relationship where you have different interests, because that's obviously normal. Actually, no, I don't think this point's going to make sense, so I'm going to just end that point and dead that off right there. So point number 10 is, if you have tried multiple times to fix the relationship, you know, to make it better, to do everything that you can, and it's just not working out, you're both left unhappy, the arguments are increasing, you're tearing off each other's headpiece, not literally, but, you know, emotionally, and just both kind of just left feeling just drained and unhappy, then leave. Like, that's how I see it. I feel like if you really care for a person, you're not going to forcefully stay with them. I feel like, unfortunately, there's a lot of people in this world that they will stay in unhealthy relationships just for the sake of image, whether it's a situation where their partner just looks good, their partner just looks 100%, and because of that, they just want to stay in the relationship. Or if, you know, the partner brings a lot to the table and they just don't really want to lose all of that, they don't really want to start from the bottom. I feel like it relates a lot to image. I think, even that's a big point, actually. I feel like a very big factor of when to leave a relationship is when you're valuing the image of the relationship more than the actual relationship. Like, I feel like a lot of people put so much energy and value onto the ungodly things of a relationship. So the materialistic things, the image, the fame, the publicity, all of that crap. They fall in love with all of that, but they forget the raw foundations, the godly foundations of how your significant other should be to you. And I feel like when you're getting to that stage, that's 100% leave that relationship, because that relationship is not for you, hun. And everything that you know has been put into that situation can also been taken away. So my thing is, if all of that was to be removed from the relationship and it's just you and the person, are you still in love with that person? Are you still going to ride with them the same way? Are you still going to, you know, be flaunting with them and putting them out there how you are now? Because if your answer is no, then you're with the wrong person. Seriously. Like, that's why I love to see like those people that kind of get together when they absolutely have nothing, like absolutely nothing at all, and they grow together. I think that's such a beautiful thing. But yeah, I think when it gets to that stage, then 100% you need to leave. If you're trying to fix it's not working, you need to leave. If you're only with them for things that is not even godly things, you need to leave. Yeah, as a summary, I would just say if you're unhappy, if your bad is outweighing the good, if you're getting your spiritual instincts and your godly instincts that this is not the person for you, if they've kind of taken away a lot of things that made you happy and you're now kind of a person that you don't recognize and you find yourself like missing how you was just as a person before, all of those things in combination and separately is definitely signs that this is not a relationship for you and that you need to leave the relationship. And I just definitely recommend, obviously, I know not everyone that watches my channel is spiritual, but I definitely just always recommend praying over your relationship, whether you're in the relationship, before you even get into the relationship, which is very powerful as well. And just do everything with God because God will reveal everything you need to know. He will reveal it to you in your dreams. He will reveal it to you through scripture. He will reveal it to you by a random person coming and talking to you. He will just reveal it to you in so many ways and he'll put it in your face. And it's down to you to be obedient and to take that step. It's down to you to trust, that God will provide all your needs. He'll take care of you and give you everything you need and more. And yeah, once you kind of fall in love with God and fall in love with that relationship, it will be much easier to just up and leave relationships that don't serve you. But obviously, I want to obviously pray over those people that are in relationships that are abusive and they're actually fearful of leaving. And I pray that God gives you the strength and the wisdom to be able to leave in the safest way possible and remove you from that situation immediately. I pray over, obviously I'm a woman, so I'll pray over male and female. But I just pray over people that's currently in a situation that just doesn't serve them. They know that it's not the partner for them and they're just staying for the sake of staying. I pray with you that you get strength to leave and both just live your life separately and just be happy. I pray over the women and men that is only staying in a relationship for the sake of their children. I pray that, God again blesses you with the wisdom and knowledge you need to give you a direct answer on what you need to do and the steps you need to take. Because obviously I understand that you want to take the children's feelings into accountability as well. I think you also have to think that what's worse? Is it worse for your child to grow up with you in the same household, but you're arguing all the time, you're at each other's ears, shouting, swearing, fighting? Or is it healthier for them to grow up, you're in separate spaces, but you're both so happy, you're just both flourishing, you're glowing, and you're able to communicate? Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to really just think about it in a deep way. I want every single person to experience a healthy, happy relationship with your significant other. One where it's like they're your lover, they're your best friend, like you can go to them about anything. They're your safe place because the world is crazy as it is. You want to be able to come home and that person is your peace, that person is your love, that person is your joy. Yes, you'll have your little disagreements here and there, but the good will always outweigh the bad. And your love is so strong that it just shines upon all, the darkness or whatever it is that may try to enter. And yeah, I just want the best for everyone. I just want everyone to be lovey-dovey. I want everyone to be happy. I want everyone to be flourishing and glowing. And I want everyone to just know their worth, know who they are, and just don't ever lose yourself in a relationship. Like, always have your own, always have something going on for yourself so that you don't find yourself staying in relationships that don't serve you. Find that strength to leave. When you get that instinct, trust it is for a reason. Even if it doesn't make sense in the moment, God will reveal to you further down the line why he made that situation. And yeah, I hope this is a short, snappy video. I didn't really go through every single point because I didn't want it to be too long. I kind of went through like the main kind of ish points. But if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do give a comment down below. Share to a friend, family member, anyone that needs to see this. And I just love and appreciate you guys so much. I love the love that you show me. And yeah, like, I just receive love and I just appreciate it. And I know that, you know, God is with me on every journey that I take because I always involve Him. And I hope you all have an amazing week and an amazing start to your week. And I love you lots. I'm out. Bye.